Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I am going to be talking about a neologism, a Garibay neologism, Oppogainer, also the verb Oppogain. So first I'll spell it. So the verb is to Oppogain. It is spelled Oppogain. And if you are Oppogaining, you are an Oppogainer. So same spelling with ER at the end. So let me define this. So, to Oppogain is to be strongly opposed to an event or a particular state, and then that event or that particular that event occurs, or that particular state comes into being, and then the person who strongly opposed that event or that state of being now specifically benefits, specifically gains from, specifically now has an advantage supplied by the very event or state of being that they strongly opposed. So I have a really personal understanding of this term because I am an Oppogainer to something that happened in Pennsylvania. So I live in Pennsylvania, and there in 2005, around, I think this change happened around 2005. So it's about, coming up on 12 years old now. And what happened was in Pennsylvania, when you went out to eat at a restaurant back in the day in 2005, you would choose where you went to eat, right? You could go to a big fast food restaurant like McDonald's or Burger King. You could go to a local pizza shop. You could go to a local diner. Any and all of these things were available, just like it is today. But the difference was, in those days, the owner of each establishment chose what was the state of smoking in that restaurant. So those restaurants chose if you could smoke in their restaurant or not, okay? Now, generally, all large franchises like McDonald's and Burger King, even 12 years ago, did not allow smoking in any of their stores, right? So Applebee's, any of the chains, right, just didn't allow it, right? Now, at this point, in Harrisburg, which is our state capital here in Pennsylvania, there was a law that was proposed that would make it illegal to have smoking in any restaurant in Pennsylvania, right? I was strongly opposed to this law. Now, I want to be clear, I am not a smoker. I never have been a smoker. I will never be a smoker. And it just doesn't seem like a terrible idea to me on every single level, right? And so, I've never been a smoker. However, I am definitely in favor of freedom, right? And I also want the market to let the market choose what it wants, right? So in those days, the market did choose what it wanted to do, right? So a perfect example of this is there was a restaurant in those days, and this restaurant is still there today. It's called Tom Jones. It's a local restaurant. It's in Brookhaven, Pennsylvania, right? And it's a really interesting, it's a diner, right? Now, back in 2003, 2002, 2001, I had been to this diner, Tom Jones, once or twice with various people who said, hey, let's go to Tom Jones. Now, the reason why everybody went to Tom Jones Diner was that it was open 24 hours a day, right? It also had this blue ribbon special. And the blue ribbon special was 2 eggs, two pieces of sausage, 2 pieces of bacon, coffee, orange juice, and toast for $3.50. Tom Jones, to this day, still offers the blue ribbon special. It's now $4.50. Ridiculously good deal, right? It's a very good deal. So they had great hours, and they had this really great special, right? So I had been there before the law, and they allowed smoking. And every time I went in there, it had a terribly unpleasant smell. It smelled like tobacco, just like you would expect for a place that allowed smoking. Now, the clientele of that place, that was their thing. They wanted to go there and smoke and talk and, And so I went there, and I was there at Tom Jones a few times before the smoking ban, and every time I was just so the experience was unpleasant because I don't like the smell of tobacco or smoke, and I was just like, I'm not coming back here, right? And so I would just go to all the, I'd go to Chick-fil-A and Burger King and McDonald's and all these, less good restaurants that didn't allow smoking, because that's what the market allowed. The owners of each establishment chose what they would allow and what they wouldn't, and I'm in support of that. I'm in the support of small business owners and large business owners determining what happens in their business, especially when it's a question of discretion, right? And so I really oppose this law. Well, the law got passed, right? That made me an Oppogainer, and I have drastically Oppogained from that law. What it did was it unlocked every restaurant in Pennsylvania after about 6 months to a year. For 6 months to a year, those places still smelled, right? And and if you went there, before the ban, there were smokers, but afterwards, I went to Tom Jones again, and I was like, wait, this place doesn't smell bad, right, from tobacco. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is a good meal, and I could actually enjoy the meal because I'm not thinking about somebody smoking 3 feet from me, right? And so now today, Tom Jones is one of my favorite restaurants. I go there all the time. And there's a whole line, La Spada's, and, just a whole line of local small restaurants and even medium-sized restaurants that previously allowed smoking, that I would not go to them because there were smokers in those establishments, smoking while I was eating. And now all of those restaurants are open to me, right? Are available to me. And and I find it very interesting because I am now an Oppogainer. I really, really opposed this change. But now that the change is in effect, I am gaining from it. I have a distinct advantage from it. I have benefited from that change, right? And the reason why I'm bringing forward the Neologism Oppogainer is I think we may be entering into a period of time where there will be many Oppogainers. And it's interesting to me, just that fact. That's it. Take care, everybody.